Hi, thanks for joining me on Jamie and the Lion's Gate. Today I'm going to do another little reading for you from my book. This part is where Jamie is in Elfenheim with some of the Wotan witches, and she is tasked to do a hunt with an Aruz. So the Aruz is a rune that is thought historically to be related to the Aruis, the bull that went extinct, that was as big as a bison but had the long horns of a bull. There's if you look it up on Google, you can see the pictures of their skeletons displayed. But anyways, she's tasked with hunting this bull as a kind of a rite of passage. And she's resistant, and when she got to the forest, everybody that she was with took off and left her because this is her task to do. She's not meant to have help with it. But anyways, we'll skip forward to the part where she's about to meet the bull. I was about 100 yards away when I jumped again, hitting some branches, and the leaves rustled. The massive bulls stopped, turned, and faced me. I froze and gaped at its sheer size. Its enormous body stood taller than Dawn's truck and much taller than me. Oh boy! Agata, Agnes, and Etta, where are you? I could really use your bows and arrows right now, I shouted. The beast stomped and started to charge me. For a moment, I admired it. It wasn't going to run away from me. Its predator. It would rather face me and fight than be chased down and die. The bull lowered its head, aiming its horns towards my chest. My instincts to survive kicked in, and I reached for my belt and retrieved my curved knives. I stood ready, and when it was an arm's length away, I jumped, landing on its back. The bull bucked in it, and I tumbled off of it, hitting the ground. The beast turned to face me, and I rolled onto my feet. We circled each other, sizing each other up. It lashed its hoofs against the ground, and it charged. I spun away from its horns, and the bull turned and kicked me with its hind legs, knocking the knives from my hands, sending me flying towards the tree. I put my arms out in front of me to try and lessen the blow. When I collided with the tree, my arms stopped, absorbing the force of the impact, and my legs curled underneath me. I used them to spring from the tree and twisted my body, landing on my hands and my feet. The bull was already rushing towards me. I leapt at him, landing on my feet on the broadside of its horn, and jumped off. Its face hit the dirt, and he fumbled. I took the opportunity and dove for my knives. When I turned, the bull was but inches away, its horns aimed at my abdomen, ready to impale me. I swiped downwards with my knife, and his right horn fell to the earth. The beast knocked me upwards with its snout, taking my foot into its maw. I folded over its head, slamming into the bony ridge. It felt like hitting cement. It rushed us forward, bulldozing my legs into a tree. I cried out in pain, and I lost grip on one of my knives as it tumbled to the ground. I grabbed onto the remaining knife with both hands while the bull backed up so it could charge again, and I started thrusting the blade downward. The bull cried out in pain, loosening its hold on my foot, but before I could move, it rammed us into the tree again. I flung backwards, crashing into it. Things went hazy for a brief moment. The bull snorted, blood running down its neck, and stomped again. He tilted his head to one side, lowering his remaining horn at me, and charged. I rolled to my left onto my feet, spun, and faced his side, and with all my strength, I brought the blade downwards onto the bull's neck again, and again. Blood splattered onto my face, and I stopped once I heard the crack of its spine. The bull fell to the earth, its breathing labored, and I backed away from it, limping. I choked back on my sobs, and my heart pounded in my chest. Well done, Jamie. Now you must thank him for what he has taught you here, for his contest and his life. Then you must end his pain, Agata spoke softly. I nodded, not wanting to see the bull suffer. I grabbed the spearhead from my belt, and I crouched next to the bull's head. I put my hand on its neck and softly stroked it. Thank you for teaching me to see, to hunt, to use my legs and arms, and to fight. Thank you for teaching me to have courage and not to flee. Thank you for the life you have lost to me. The bull looked at me, and I saw peace in his eyes, and I didn't fully understand it. I took my spearhead and I thrust it downward into the bull's temple. then let the tears stream down my face. Agata, Agnes, and Etta knelt next to me. Now, I'll share with you why this needed to be, and what must be done. Work, don't talk or question, for we must hurry. Start removing the hide, Etta imparted. Agata, Agnes, and I went to work, neatly slicing and pulling at the hide in silence. Etta then proceeded to tell us a tale. A long time ago, a bull and a cow were in love. The cow became full with calves, and the bull was proud. The bull went to and fro telling the world of his good fortune. Then on his walk home, he found himself being followed by a hunter. The hunter was old and frail, so the bull ran instead of fighting. The bull thought it wasn't worth the bloodshed, and this fight would be too easy, that this hunter posed no real threat. So the bull ran over the hills and through the valleys. In his mind, he was leading the hunter away from his love, his family. Once he was sure he was safe, he changed course and returned to his consort. When the bull arrived at his meadow, the cow was nowhere to be seen. Then the smell of her blood drifted to him, carried on a breeze. He ran to help her, following the scent. Then when he reached the place of its origin, all that was left was her hoofs, heart, and the fetuses of his descendants. The bull in agony screamed a mighty scream and shook fate awake. Then in his pain, the bull consumed what was left of his family's remains. He ate the hoofs and the heart of his beloved, and the babes that were meant to be, so that he may carry them with him forever, not forgetting how he failed his family. Fate, intrigued and touched by the bull's actions, came to the bull and asked what he would change, and it would be granted. Fate imagined the bull would ask for the lives of his family to be spared. However, having felt the deepest of pains possible, the bull wanted to ensure this could never happen again. So the bull told fate that only through a fight fought hard and true could a bull be found worthy of a cow's love. Then together they would start a family anew. Overcome with grief and rage, the bull jumped and pinned Fate down, and then told her there and then that he never wanted to see a cow to suffer in agony or pain or be murdered again. Fate, angry at the bull's betrayal, granted the bull his request, but with different terms to settle the debt. Fate wielded her magic throughout all the world, that no more were calves or cows from the womb to be born, but rather through a sacrifice and the loss of a bull's hide, in a battle fought hard and true and with pride. Only then the bull could be reborn with his family anew, and from there on, the cow and the calves forever would be hidden from the hunter's view. Etta finished. My heart hurt, but at the same time I felt relief that maybe something good would come from this. Together we finished pulling the hide from the bull's carcass and folded it in half. Then we placed it neatly on the ground. Now what do we do? I queried. We need to clean it, Agnes answered. Ew, gross, I thought to myself, but started to cut despite my own resistance. Once done, we placed the entrails inside the pelt, and everyone stilled. The blood, entrails, and the hide began to mix. Then the fur started to move. Jamie, take your box out from your belt, Agata advised. And I did. I looked at the little box. It had a small latch that locked the top closed when turned. Other than that, it was ordinary, and I wondered what use it could have in this situation. Now place the box on the carcass and open it. Hurry, Agata instructed. And I did what she asked. Then, to my amazement, the carcass shrunk until it was small enough to place inside the box. I grabbed the tiny body with my fingertips and put it in the box and put it back on my belt. Agata nodded in approval. Get ready to run, Agata warned, as the pelt started to tremble and move. I don't know that I can run. I think I may have sprained or broken something in the fight, I told her. The three looked at each other. Then Agnes and Etta each took one of my arms in their hands. The pelt rose, and a bull, a cow, and two calves leapt from underneath the hide. The witches thrust upward, taking me with them, and I looked down as the cows and the calves faded from my view, while the bull frolicked around as if he was playing with them. We landed next to the cauldron and chanted, Spiral, spin, turn and twist, open a path through your mist. From where we came, we now must return to share the knowledge we have learned. I hope you enjoyed that little clip. Sorry if it's a bit choppy. I decided to read it in sections this time, so every time I messed up, I didn't have to reread the whole thing. I really like this story. I love fairy tales, and I love tales in general. I love sitting down and having people tell me their big fish stories and their hauntings and all the other stories that makes life magical. So, like I said, I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you have a magical day and a magical journey, and I will see you next time.